giving this talk. And the reason I'm happy to be giving this talk is because happiness is something that can be hard to find. It can be hard to find without a foundation, a good foundation, right? A couple of questions I came across when I was thinking about happiness last night, and I've been thinking about it for a couple of days now, and I'm saying, wait a minute, now I have to rethink what is happiness. Because just asking the question, you might think of a bunch of things that make you happy, right? Mm-hmm. But when I started to really think about happiness, desire popped in my head, okay? Fulfillment popped in my head. And I equated desire and fulfillment to happiness. So my question to all of you, for you to think about, is what would it take to make you happy? Have you really thought about what it would take to actually make you happy? Now, I associated this with the way you feel. So one of the four principles that I use my life, that I guide myself on, is vision, managing my emotional state, unlimiting beliefs, and always have a strategy to accomplish whatever it is I want. So with that being said, the number 2 thing, managing your emotional state, for me, I needed God to do that. So this is not for me to preach to every one of you to say, go out and find God. But something tragic happened to me, and that's how I ended up finding God. And the way it happened, or the way it was told to me, was by somebody I was in love with. I was in love with a man who did not love me. But in the argument, he said one thing to me, go find God. I said, what? Wait, I couldn't argue. I was like, that was the end of the argument. I was done. I was like, what do you mean go find God? What is that going to do? But I didn't know God. So it was kind of like, just love me, but you can't have love without God. And I respect everyone's beliefs, whether you're agnostic, theist, atheist. I've been all 3. I come from a world of all 3. But the one that really stuck with me was being a theist, was believing in God, because God gave me hope. He gave me a whole lot of hope that I didn't have. Someone the other day said, you are a dreamer. And I said, a dreamer? Well, I have to tell you, my dreams are coming true. Okay? Everything I set out to do, I'm going to do it, because that makes me happy. And what really makes me happy is helping people. I cannot be happy without helping people. I am not fulfilled if their desires aren't fulfilled. I'm reading a book by Reverend Moon. It's his biography. And when he was young, his uncle, I guess, owned a plantation of melons. You remember this? And he turns around and asks his uncle, he said his uncle was really mean to all the neighborhood kids. So he asked his uncle one day, well, can I have all the melons that I want, or can I have some melons? And his uncle said, yeah, sure, you can go ahead and have all of them. So at the end of the night, he went and invited all of his friends from the neighborhood, all of them. As his uncle slept, he brought these kids to this I guess, melon patch, or he brought them there, and he told them to take as much as their heart desired. And they did. They took as much as their heart desired. And when they did that, the next morning, his uncle was so pissed off. And he came to him, or he came to his uncle, and his uncle questioned him. And he said, why did you take all these melons? Something to that sort. And he turned around and he said, well, their desires were my desires, right? And I said, now that's happiness. He was happy because all of them were fed. And I said, God, that's exactly what true happiness is. Because really, if you're only happy about what you receive, then that means you're self-absorbed. You're selfish. right? Happiness should just not stop at you. It should go on and on. And I just want to say, even if you don't believe in God, you should find something that you rely on to give you hope. And for me, it's God. And I'm telling you, when they say He works in mysterious ways, He really does. He really does. He showed me how to love. He showed me how to be thankful. He showed me how to have gratitude. He showed me even how to wake up in the morning and say, thank you, Jesus, that I opened my eyes. Because I want to show you guys what unhappiness looks like. Okay. So a lot of people don't know that I have tons of tattoos, okay? And these tattoos, for me, are scars, okay? Real scars. These tattoos are, this is my brother's name. He was murdered, okay? Then I have another brother who's serving 10 years. Then I have another brother who has 90 years to life. So in the morning when I wake up, do you think I am thankful that I made some of the right choices? But this is the unhappiness that I wake up to, and then I'm thankful that I'm still here, and that brings me happiness. So now I don't only live my life for myself, but I live for my family. I live for them too. I don't have the best parents, but I have parents. And sometimes, it's either their way or the highway, but you know what? I'd rather it be their way than get on the highway alone. Okay? And my parents have turned their life around, and now they're with God as well, and they're more happier than ever. Okay? So I'll answer some of the questions that was posed to me by Akira. And it says, how does living for others, the greater good, impact our happiness? Well, like I said last week when I stood up here, when I help people, that's all I do. That's all I do all week is help people. What, you need a job? I'll find you one. What, you need books? Let me see where I can find some discounts to get you some. This is what I do all week. But like I said, that one person that rejects me and says, oh, I don't need your help, that right there is what really affects me. And it affects me because I don't want anybody to get lost. We have a thing in our army, what is it, no man left behind? That should be our same principle here. No one left behind. So for me, I try to just help, and I try to smile, and I try to make every day a better day. Every day you wake up is another day to do your life over again. It's another chance, another opportunity for happiness. Okay? And don't let anybody deter you from that. I don't care what's going on out there in the world, because there's always going to be something going on. But it's up to you. It's up to you to change yourself so that you can help change other people. The next one is, how does society focus on self-absorbed goals impact our happiness? Well, if you're only thinking about yourself, you're not gonna help anyone else. It's not enough. It is not enough to just think about yourself. Okay? And there's too many people out there who actually need help. I mean, lend a hand. I was just having a conversation a little bit earlier about someone I walked by on the bus stop, and he stopped me and he said, hey, can you give me some change? My mother just died 3 days ago, and I found out I had cancer 2 days ago. But he was lying to me. And me, I normally give. I give. But something in my spirit said, something isn't right here. So I kept going. I said, oh, you know what? I will pray for your mother. That's the most I can really give you, is prayer. So then I get to the parking lot here, and there was a guy sitting down with his briefcase, and he said, excuse me, ma'am, I'm hungry. Can you buy me something to eat? Now I equate food with love, and I equate love with God. So if I can't give you money, I could at least feed you. How happy do you think he was? I might be a little bit short on pocket change, but how happy do you think he was? And how happy did I feel walking away? That's taken from me, but it's not about me. So I gave to him, okay? And so when people are so self-absorbed and they're caught up in their own things, I'm going to save my money for me. You know what? that's all you're going to eventually have. It's everything for you and by yourself. This world isn't meant for us to be alone. It isn't. So that's one of the things that I try to talk to people about, so that they know that helping a friend or helping someone else leads you to a better place and a better path in your life. Okay? I'm going to go to number 3. Think of a time in your life when you were unhappy. Well, I could think of several times in my life that I was unhappy. But the most I was really unhappy is when I didn't have God, because I didn't have hope. I did not have hope. I mean, I was living day to day and I was doing everything. I was in school. I was, playing. I was on a swim team in college. I was doing everything, but I had no direction, no vision. I didn't have anything that guided me, that really pushed me and said, you know what, you can do it. Because men can tell you all day you can do it. Women can tell you all day you can do it. But if you really don't feel like you can do it here, you won't. And what God gave me is fulfillment and hope. And He let me know that, you know what, Monica, if you have me, you have everything. Okay? I'll go to, what is one area of your life that you can improve your happiness by applying 4G? Greater good. Okay, one area of my life. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not know, because all I do is help people, and I'm satisfied with that. I am so satisfied with that I don't know what more to do. I really don't know what more to do, but just to continue helping people. So if I can help as many people as I can, for me, that's it. That's it. That's all I want to do with the rest of my life, and that's what I am going to do for the rest of my life. Someone was upset at me before because I told them I was going to Washington, D.C., and I was going to give missionaries coffee to sell. I said, I'm tired of seeing them when you walk up and they ask and people don't want to give. Well, I said, coffee is a $2 billion industry. Let me give them something people like, right? But how many people are they going to satisfy with that? How many people are they going to be able to help by raising that money and being able to go over in Africa? See how me helping one family turns around and help a bunch of people. So I just say to you guys that, have gratitude when you wake up in the morning. Be thankful. I'm not going to criticize anybody's beliefs, whether it's, like I said, whether you're agnostic, you're theist, or you are atheist. But find a foundation. My foundation was God. Okay? My core is God. Everything I do is God. Even last night, Kimio gave me a book about a week ago. And when she gave me that book a week ago, I've been reading it. We skipped over the introduction. So as I was laying there last night, I said, let me look at the introduction. And I opened up the introduction and it said, I'll show you. Human happiness. I was like, I even said this to myself, right? I said, this is God. This has to be God. I mean, I read through the whole book and skipped the introduction, and here is my answer. Here is my answer. And I said to myself, you know what? God is really on my side, and He's really giving me direction. And I hope that most of you guys can fulfill whatever desires it is that you have, but make sure that you have something to stand on when you do it. Because if your foundation is shaky, I'll tell you, you'll slide right back to square one. But have something. And for me, it's God, and I hope for the rest of you, if you can learn more and understand more, Divine Principle is great to read, because you will understand God's true intentions, and by understanding His true intentions, you will find happiness. Okay? Thank you.